Carolyn Dube here. What's the play for today? Well, today I'm playing around with some cardboard, and this all came about because I couldn't decide what to do. I kind of came in, looked at my studio, looked around at everything, and went, I don't know what to do. It was one of those days when I just didn't feel like making a decision. So here's what I do when that happens to me. When I walked into the studio, every decision felt so big and, frankly, difficult. Which supply do I want to use? What do I feel like making? All that kind of stuff. And when I find myself getting in that headspace, what I do is I just look around for what's within arm's reach. I had some pieces of colorful painted cardboard around, and I had a stack of stencils that I hadn't put away, which that's no shocker that I have stuff left out because I don't really like to spend time cleaning things up. Out of the stack of all the stencils that were out there, this is the one that really called to me because it's got all sorts of quotes about play on it. And whenever I find myself overthinking things, that means I need to be reminded about play and having fun and not taking things quite so seriously as they feel. Oh, and this stencil, by the way, is called It's Time to Play, and it's available over at StencilGirlProducts.com. Now you'll see a big open space in the middle there between the quotes, and I couldn't just leave that there. And since it's stenciling, you have the flexibility to pick and choose some of the quotes, some of the words, or any combination. So I just picked one that would fit right in that spot. Then I thought I'd just separate out the quotes, just cut them apart. The two big ones, and then the word play. And as I was doing this, I realized I don't want to just cut the quotes apart, I want to cut the words apart too. When you're cutting through cardboard, because it's thicker, it can be hard to do with scissors sometimes, which is why if I'm doing a bunch of big cuts, I like to use a craft knife to do it. But there's one thing about a craft knife that's really important, and that's changing the blade frequently. Having a nice, sharp, fresh blade makes it a lot easier to cut through cardboard. Now on this one, I only did one pass of the knife and it didn't cut all the way through. But here on the bottom, if I go over the cut twice, it separates out really nicely. So if I know that going over it twice will separate it, why didn't I do that on these first cuts? Well, it's because sometimes when I do that, the knife wiggles around on me a little bit and it creates a jagged cut. And I was worried that it would actually cut into some of the words. So that's why I just did it once, and then I bent the cardboard, and then I'm just kind of sawing down along that fold. Now, is this the most efficient way or the best way to use a knife when cutting cardboard? Probably not, but it's the way that's comfortable for me. The engineering types, the people that love straight edges and that kind of stuff, absolutely you can use those too. This is just what feels good to me. Now, once I've got them cut into the strips, then it's really easy to use the scissors to make the rest of the cuts. As I saw it all laid out here, I realized it would fit just perfectly on an 8x10 something. So I thought, you know what, let's turn this into a sign that will remind me over and over again that I need to not take certain things so seriously. I'm doing this on a wood panel, but you can definitely do something like this on a canvas in just the same way. Now, I painted the background yellow and didn't like the first yellow I chose, so I went and grabbed a different yellow. And I'm really proud of myself for actually remembering to paint the sides because that's something I tend to forget about until well after I'm done with something. Wise people give things time to dry before they go and start putting stuff on top of it. But I'm not feeling very wise, and I couldn't wait to see what these would look like on here, so I'm actually putting on top of the still wet paint, which is why I'm just trying to gently place it so that I don't actually touch my fingers on the yellow paint and leave any kind of fingerprints on it. The last thing to do is get those pieces of cardboard glued on. I'm just using some tacky glue there right on the cardboard. Then yep, the paint's not fully dry yet either, and that's okay, because those two things can just dry together. So now I've got a reminder not to fall into that trap of taking certain things a little too seriously in my head. And by the way, how am I going to put this on the wall? Well, I'm going to take the easy way on that. I'm going to use Command adhesive picture hanging strips. It's like pieces of Velcro, but it won't rip on your wall and that kind of stuff. And it holds this kind of thing up beautifully. And so, yeah, if you're looking for an easy way to hang your art, this is the way to do it. Well, thanks so much for joining me for today's play. If you've been enjoying this video, I'd so appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll know as soon as I've got a new one out. And of course, there's more fun waiting for you over on the website at acolorfuljourney.com. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of your colorful journey.